Okay, everybody. Today we are moving on to the pattern Joki by Kim Arts. This is a really fun pattern. I saw this come up in one of my other Zentangle groups, the Shading Zentangle, as their focus pattern one week, and some of the things people came up with were absolutely stunning. So we're going to give this a go, see what happens, right? First thing you do is at the bottom, make yourself a sort of a baseline, right? And then make this kind of a swirly shape, sort of a snail-like shape, right? And then you draw, and this isn't probably the best of step outs because it doesn't show the order that you need to do, but you actually need to start here and work this way. So it's just these petal shapes that then curve and follow this line, and they come all the way around until you've used up your space, and then it looks like that. Okay? And then there's variations. Instead of starting on the baseline, you can start with an upward piece and put your swirl there, and then you want to build on your swirl going that way with some, then you can put some little lines in there. So here's one that shows both at the bottom and growing toward the top, and there's another one with it at the bottom kind of in the corner, and then few of them coming up. So I think I'm going to kind of do it that way. I'm going to start at the bottom and then just kind of grow it this way. Definitely I'm going to need a border. I'm wondering if I want just, for some reason I feel like I want to do it going this way, which is unusual for me. I usually start in the other corner if I'm going to put a corner based tangle, but for some reason I feel like I want it here, so that's where it's going to go. So we're going to put it, I'm going to put it right there in the corner and come around. Oops. It's got to come from somewhere. I guess it should have come like that. Okay. Just sort of a snail-like shape in the corner. And then I'm going to bring this one going this way. And then sort of this petal shape that just kind of follows that curve, right? I have no idea why I'm drawing this. It's backwards for me. Usually I draw things going the other direction. And I have no idea why I'm drawing it in this direction, but that's all right. I like these sort of, all these tangles that have this sort of leaf petal thing that kind of builds on itself. I really like it. You can do all sorts of things with it. And that's the basic tangle right there. Now see, it's really weird that I drew it over here in this corner. I could have started with it going this way and drawn it this direction. It would have been the same thing. And that's normally what I would have done, is draw it over here and go this way, because that's more natural for my hand rather than this way. And I have no idea why I drew it that way. That's very strange for me. I don't know. I'm going to put another one right here. Kind of peeking out from that one. And remember to kind of in your mind visualize where it's going. It's going like that, and then maybe another one coming out like that, and then maybe here I would start to see it building. And then maybe I'll put one of those ones up here that it kind of showed. This, one of the variations. Oh, I didn't put the stem part. Okay. Oh, I'm off page. Why aren't you people yelling at me that you can't see? Well, you probably did. That's probably why I looked up. I feel like there needs to be one coming this way, but I want it to come behind there. Like it's... These are fun. I'm having a great time here. I hope you notice that I'm having a great time. There we go. I think that looks fabulous. And it didn't take hardly any time at all because, you know, these organic patterns, bleh, these organic tiles don't take me that long. I think I need to put a few just with curls. Like they're they're curling, but they haven't unfurled yet, right? Kind of like ferns do, where they don't quite unfurl yet. Maybe one coming up from here. Okay, stop fiddling with it. Joki. That is Joki. And now for some shading. Zoom in just a little bit. Make sure I don't go off my page, and make sure I get all the overlap first. That's always where I start. That's where the overlap is. And here, right? I actually don't have a whole lot of overlap on this one. It's mostly where they're overlapping each other. A little bit right there. Okay. That poor puppy next door. He's just whining and crying. Don't know. It doesn't usually sound like that. Alright. There we go. A little bit for that, and then this right on the edge of each of these folds. I'm doing it right on the pen line, and a little bit extra where it's like all coming together, because that would be where it would be kind of dark. And then the same here, just right on the pencil, on the pen line. Oop. Or not, as the case may be. A little extra right down there. All right, I'm going to use my littler one. Get in those tiny spaces. See, that's pretty. Basically, with the shading, all you're really doing is making it a little bit darker where you think either the shadow would be, or where you think the item that you're drawing is farther away from you. So like in every single place where there's an overlap, that would be a little darker because those items are overlapping each other, you know, like your fingers overlap, and you have, it's darker in there, right? Even though my fingers are all in the same light, right there where they're overlapping is darker. Same theory here, you know, right where they're overlapping each other, creates a little dark spot. And then where they all come together, like where they're all bending into this spot here, would be darker because it's all kind of funneling and merging that direction. And it doesn't need a lot for that effect to happen. Just needs just a tiny bit. You want to make sure you're not like, you have various tones where you have a lighter and darker. And if your darker isn't dark enough, you can go back and put more dark, which I may do on this overlap here actually. That doesn't feel dark enough to me. So I'm going to come back here and make this one overlap that darker, bolder, and then make sure you blend it out. It's blending that does the trick. See how you really didn't even see where I put the pencil? Like on this line here, you really don't see where I put the pencil. But if I come in here with my stump and just give it a little bit of a smudge, you see that. Actually, I think I missed that one. It didn't smudge. I think I did. I missed this one. I didn't get any pencil on there. It's just a subtle bit of smudge. But it's enough to give me that curl that I'm looking for. And I think I want it darker in here. Can always come back and add the dark, and with your kneaded eraser you can also lift if you got it too dark. So don't be afraid to, you know, go for the dark, but just make sure you blend it. There we go. Hey, isn't that nice? And on these bigger ones, I think I'm gonna definitely want to do this as well. The curve of the snail shell shape here. There we go. Yeah, it needed that. Okay. Okay, and then it needs this. There we go. Look at there. Perfect. That is Joki. Kind of curled up, my paper curled up a little bit. Some of you are wondering about my squares, and when it curls, I just pick it up and kind of just bend it the other way a little bit, and then it goes flat. I just cutting paper out of a sketchbook, pencil sketchbook that I have. It's It's a big book. It's like a 9 by 12 or something. I get 6 squares out of each page. And my squares are standard Zentangle tile sizes of 3.5 by 3.5. So in case you're wondering, that's what I'm using. Oh, and I did notice this time when I went up to cut some more paper, these are 75-pound sketchbook paper, in case it makes any difference to you. So it's not as thick as cardstock, but it's thicker than typing paper. It's just a nice weight sketchbook paper. All right, so there is Joki, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.